everyone, welcome back to the Precious Years. This is Saida. As some of you may know, I've been absent on YouTube and other social medias for mostly about 3 to 4 weeks or so, because unexpectedly my mother-in-law had passed away in a tragic accident. She lived at a different state, so we've been there for about two weeks or so, and we've just came back home in the past week, and we're just getting back to the routine. So you will be seeing some workbox videos and some other activities this weekend and moving forward. But before we get back into the routine and get back to the normal day-to-day lifestyle, I just wanted to talk to you guys about how we coped with letting our kids know about the death of their grandma. It's something that we didn't plan on. I guess we pushed it off and we didn't really think about it, how we would handle something like that. So unexpectedly we had to come to an agreement between my husband and myself to figure out how we would deal with that. And I just wanted to share our story with you on how we decided to deal with that. So basically, going back a little bit, as part of our religious studies, when I try to teach my kids about the life and this life and the afterlife that we believe in our religion, my daughter used to get a little upset, and she would think, if she would go to sleep, she might not see mommy anymore. So we kind of put that aside and decided that we would talk about the death and afterlife when she was a little older. My oldest was a little older. She's going to be 6 this April, so we wanted to deal with that a little later. But God knows best, and He had His plans, and my mother-in-law passed away, and so we knew we had to deal with that. But it was so unexpected. I wanted to be there for my husband and his family, so in the beginning I didn't tell her. We tried to kind of, I went with my husband and we were there. She saw us crying, but we didn't fully tell her, and maybe I should have told her ahead of time, but it was so sudden that I didn't know how to cope with telling her while my husband is still grieving, so we didn't really talk to them ahead of time. Once a couple days passed and my husband was in a better state to talk about it, we decided to let our kids know. We did tell them that their grandma has died, and we didn't tell her that she went to sleep or that she went away, because I didn't want them to think that there's a possibility that they'll wake up or they'll come back. I wanted them to understand that that they're gone and they're with God or Allah, and that one day we will meet them. So my daughter started asking questions why, and in conversation she came to the conclusion that when you get older you pass away. She had some other questions about how old I am, how old her dad is, and how she was trying to kind of understand how long I have. And so we kind of let her right now believe that if we stay healthy, if we will live a long life, and we want to go further into detail of life after death, but I didn't want to scare her too much. But I wanted her to understand what happened to her grandma, and that we're praying for her, and also made sure that if they had any questions that they could come and ask us, because I didn't want them to wonder and go into any kind of mental issues with thinking without asking. So we kept asking, if you have any more questions, we're here, we love you, your grandma loved you, and we'll always remember her. So that's kind of how we told our kids. What we did is we actually held a couple memorial services, and one was for a separate memorial service for her co-workers. In there, my daughters were present. They were talking to them, you know, they were mingling with them, and they heard the stories of their grandmother and what an extraordinary woman she was. She was a very hardworking woman. She was very independent, and they learned all that about their grandma. And I think they gained more of an appreciation to hear so many people praying. My husband is doing a couple of things for his mother as reward for her after she dies, from something that he can do here. Not only will it benefit her and my husband, but it will continue to be a reminder for my kids for their, you know, of their grandmother. So one of the things that he has done is he's opened up a foundation in her name, which will help, you know, abused single women in like need, because my mother was very independent. She worked, like, she had like 3 jobs, and she's always been working, and you know, she was all about woman power. And so we have opened up a foundation in her name. And the day we met with her co-workers, my daughters were passing out these boxes in her memory to her co-workers, and we thought it was really cool that they got to do that and see how awesome it is. So it's like a memory box with her name in it, and in the box there's a bracelet, because we wanted our mother-in-law story to be told, and that we would not forget her. Along with that, in our religion, we don't really have put up pictures of the deceased, but we do have a picture of my mother-in-law, a very smiling, beautiful picture of my mother-in-law in our private area of our house, where my daughters get to see her, their grandma, every day. So because we want her to be a reminder, you know, we tell them stories about her, the similarities that, you know, some of her characteristics that my kids have inherited. We talk about that because we want her presence to be lived through with my kids, even though they're younger. So that's how we've kind of dealt with the whole death issue. You know, if I could go back, I would have planned for this, so that my husband and I would have planned for this, so we knew how to, you know, deal with it more logically, I guess. But we did the best we could. We knew we had to tell them. We couldn't just, you know, let them see all these people crying and not know what's going on. So we did tell them, and I'm grateful that my husband was in a mental state, you know, to be able to explain to my kids. He thinks very logically, and I think part of his grieving process was to figure out how he can help his mom, and I think telling her story to my kids has also helped him in the grieving process. And that's basically how we dealt with the death of my mother-in-law. And I will post more details about the foundation. It's still in the works. You know, the websites are coming, you know, we want to help out, you know, women in need in general, because that's what my mother-in-law's, you know, she helped many women, and that's what we want to do, and help out and keep her memory alive. And I just wanted to share that with you. So you'll be seeing some workbox videos hopefully tomorrow, and some maybe day in the life videos, and that's about it.
Allah, please take care of all the people who pass away and bring them to heaven. Bring them to heaven. And let us meet them one day.
Amen.
Amen.
If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And if you have any comments, feel free to let us know as well. We love hearing your comments, and I hope you found something valuable in this video, and I will see you next time. Have an awesome day. Thank you.